Connie Clayton was the first black and first woman, which means, of course, by definition, first black woman, but first black, first woman to be the superintendent of schools in the city of Philadelphia. This is a whole legend right here. Y'all look up Constance E. Clayton, Connie Clayton. Connie Clayton, I mean, you talk about a master teacher. There's an endowed chair. I think there's only one other endowed chair in the country that's older than the one that is named at the University of Pennsylvania for Connie Clayton. And I had to dig this out. I'm glad I hadn't put this one in storage. This is a collection of keynote lectures called Messages for Educational Leadership. These are lectures from the inaugural year of the Constance Clayton chair to the year 2000, and it continues. The first occupier of that chair, Professor Diana Slaughter Defoe, now she has another name, who her married name is now. She was the initial chair. But Constance Clayton is a master teacher. Only child, product of Philadelphia public schools, graduate of Girls High School. Who determines our emancipation? Grew up in a house full of books, where she said I would go to museums. I had all that. She said, I want all the children to have this. And if you ever get a chance in this book, it's all lectures from other people, except she is interviewed by Professor Slaughter Defoe near the end of the book. And the interview, let me see if I can find it quickly. Here we go. Interview with Constance Clayton, March 22nd, 2011. She's talking about the fact that all children can learn, all children should learn. And she said, I had a, let me see if I can find it quickly, because I want to read this. She said, she never had union strife. She had been a teacher. She was a classroom teacher. She worked on the African-American and African curriculum. When she got downtown, she was a deputy superintendent. She became the superintendent of schools. And she said, in my 11 years, we didn't have a single strike because I met with the union. I indicated particularly to the teachers' unions that without the children, there's no need for you and me. She talks about how before she came, there were all these fights between the unions. She said, we got to squash this. We all together. She went to every single school in the school district of Philadelphia. When I started working for the school district of Philadelphia directly in 1999, there were 257 schools. It was the fifth largest district in the country. When Connie Clayton took the reins, about a decade before that, it was the fourth largest district in the country. She visited all the schools, and people said, we never seen the superintendent. She said, well, get used to it. You're gonna see me. I'm a teacher. They would say, well, give me a second, we'll take you through the building. She said, no, I'm a citizen. I know how to walk. I'm gonna walk in the building. She said, I sit in the classroom. Oh, let me just, if I could find this quick, I would let you know. Yeah, here we go. A principal would often say, Dr. Clayton, just a minute and I will take you around the building. And I replied, no, I'm a citizen first, and then I'm a superintendent. I know my way around buildings. And so I would go in and visit because I didn't want show and tell. I wanted to see the classrooms. I would go in and sit down and sit in the back of the room to see if I could read the handwriting or the printing on the chalkboards. And I would look at the bulletin boards to see what kind of papers were posted on the children's lessons. Have they been up there for 2 months, or did they reflect something learning? And then if I sat in the back of the room, I could see how the teacher interacted with children, who she called on and who she didn't call on, because we have a way of demeaning kids. If their hands are raised, they think they know the answer, and probably do. And some are never called on. There are many, many ways to demean kids. That's why I say all children are children of value. And even if they have the wrong answer, the fact is that they were trying to answer and wanted to answer. Line after line of wisdom from this master teacher in an age when we know more about athletes and entertainers than Constance E. Clayton, who helped transform education in Philadelphia. The superintendent now, Tony Waltington, good brother, says he wants to rename the building, the school district headquarters, the Constance E. Clayton Learning Center. It makes perfect sense. The thing that makes me sad, however, is that name should go on the original school district building, which was sold for $25 million by Paul Vallis and them fools. The building that was on the Parkway around the corner from the Franklin Institute, where it makes a statement about the value of public education, that 11-story building. But that building is now condos, because this country doesn't value education, they value profit. So when we start talking about who determines our emancipation, it's going to be us. And I could say a lot more about Connie Clayton, but I won't right now. Maybe we'll do a you should know about her. But I should mention one other thing very quickly just about her, because I know we're going to get ready to go. Who determines our emancipation? This is where I wanted to go with it, frankly. I was watching Remember Prof. Bill Gray?
Of course. William Gray from Philly. Yes.
North Philly, Bright Hope Baptist Church, still right there across the street from Temple. I was by there on Tuesday. Walked by there. Gray was elected to Congress. Charlie Bowser was a black politician who ran for mayor against Bill Green, a white politician whose father had run the Democratic Party in Philly for years. And Bowser lost the primary, but because of the organization of black Philadelphians, they made Green give some concessions. Green said, if I'm elected, I'm gonna put a black in my cabinet. He did. He made the city manager, a guy named Wilson Good. He said, I'm going to appoint a black superintendent of schools. That was Constance Clayton. So it doesn't look like black elected officials all the time. It looks like, how do we determine what we want? And when we organize, and they broke the back of Frank Rizzo. Connie Clayton is not the superintendent of schools had there not been a we in Philadelphia of black people who organized and did that. They ran a slate. Augusta Clark was on city council. He promised these things and he had to deliver. Now, and I'll end with this on Connie Clayton and on that period. I remember Sam Evans, who turned 100 years old. He was one of the people who Connie Clayton and them would say, this is the guy who trained us when we were children, Model City. Sam Evans was a legend in Philadelphia. We're at his 100th birthday party at the Ben Franklin Hotel, downtown Philadelphia, Center City Hotel. And they're all there, Connie Clayton. They talking about, oh man, he did this for us. Kind of like what young people say about Marion Barry. I had my first job, this kind of thing. So at the end, they sing happy birthday. He gets up. He's 100 years old, Professor Hunter. He's 100 years old, y'all. He stands up and he said, look at us in our fine clothes and tuxedos. And, yeah, I had on African clothes. I'm not wearing no tuxedo. And dresses. And everybody looks great, smells great, beautiful. We're having this beautiful dinner in a hotel we don't own. Silence. Sam Evans said, we're a race of gypsies. And all you could hear, as far as I'm concerned, I was sitting in the back, was, that was me. Anyway, Sam Evans, I mean, this is the thing. Look how much progress we've made. We're at the convention center with all these white sponsors for the Congressional Black Caucus weekend. It's very nice. Look at us with the Benjamin Franklin Hotel. If you have a happy birthday, look at us in a hotel we don't own. We're a race of gypsies.